We'll know when we feel it.
I don't feel it. Oh, that's intriguing. Oh.
That's rumbling my balls.
Stretch it out. Hold it longer. Hold that note for way longer. Just keep going with that one note. Oh yeah.
I'm being a rocker from the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you vomit and you eat a bat. Or you eat a bat and you vomit. I'm not sure.
Either way, vomit's coming after the bat. Yeah.
No. I said hold the one note for a really long time. There we are. Do your intro.
Hey, this is How Can We Help You podcast. And this is Shortchanged. It's the episode between big boy episodes when we don't prepare anything. Wayde plays the guitar. We talk shit for half an hour.
I force Wayde to make sure he doesn't play very well at all. I say stop the good stuff. Give me something repetitive. Yeah. That's it. That's the intro.
That's the show. Keep that going for half hour.
Again.
Hey,
if
baby.
we were paying you, I'd only pay you to do the one note, and then we'd just loop it afterwards. But I guess we'd pay you to do the looping.
He does edit
part
it, yeah.
afterwards. Yeah, he doesn't edit it.
No, he's made that quite clear.
Absolutely refuses to edit it. Hey, we're going to shortchange the bit. It's a little bit about nothing. I'm here, Mitchell Bill.
And I'm Right Boy the Boy.
Over there, refusing to say his own name, is Wayde El Spado.
It was such a clear pattern set out in our intro.
Bulgarian for Wayde the Spade. There he is. Say a word, maybe? He's waving. What a fuckhead.
I'm so certain that it was his suggestion when we were planning out this podcast back in the day, 3 months ago. He was like, hey, why don't we do short-changed episodes? And in those ones, I'll talk.
Yeah.
Yet to happen.
And then he's like, he listened to one Mr. Bungle album and he's like, I only talk with my guitar.
My dad always used to go on and on about how, it still does, that the guitar is the ultimate instrument in communication. Like nothing gets your guts moving, gets your belly shaking. I'm trying to think of better ways to describe it. Moves the human soul better than an electric guitar, specifically electric guitar.
What about laxatives?
They're better.
They get your soul moving. They get your guts squidging.
Bloody tell you all about it. Should we do a full recap from start to finish of my butt?
Yes, please.
What's your opinion on that? Because I'm just electric guitars are good fun, but it doesn't get me quivering.
Really likes them because he has. Would you call them axes, Wayde? He has 5 axes. Is axes a cool thing to say?
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Another great addition to the podcast. Right?
I've got one of those axes, those medieval cleavers, is one of mine.
Oh, brag.
First guitar I ever bought.
But this one's your old one.
Oh yeah, that used to be mine as well.
What happened?
All things Wayde has, I used to own.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you thought, this doesn't move me.
No.
You got addicted to prescription laxatives.
It was an Xbox 360. I swapped him for one.
Did you actually? Yeah. You swapped for a little 360?
For that guitar?
Yeah.
Boy, bad trade.
That's a bad trade.
It's a terrible trade. I threw an Xbox 360 in the bin.
What for?
Because I was done with it.
It had been a bad boy.
We had at my old apartment, we had a down the bottom. This is great. We had an electronics recycling bin next to all the other bins, and so you could just throw out whatever you want. I threw out a shitty computer.
Yep.
I threw out a PS3 and an Xbox 360.
I feel like it's someone.
I still had an Xbox 360, by the way. I had 2.
Yeah. All right. You get it. You're real rich. And you've got all the tech. All right, Tony Stark over here. I just reckon there's one tenant in the building who has put the bin there and is just collecting all your stuff and selling it. It was Wayde.
That's such a good ploy. That's genius.
Dig it up and repurpose it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a spade.
Yep. Did you just describe recycling?
Well done. That's going to catch on, I think.
That's the value we look for in this podcast. Thank you very much. Wait.
Hey, we went to a lecture for Science Week
Yeah, we did.
because we're like cool guys. You
Oh,
know?
we're so into
We rode
the
in on
future.
our hogs with our axes and our leather jaquetas, with our names emblazoned on them in diamantes.
Mine was bedazzled.
Yeah, and it was called Coffee in Space.
Space.
Yes, I was hoping you would do that.
Space.
And then you did it, and Wayde was drinking, so he couldn't do it.
I wasn't
But-
very committed though. I was pretty downtrodden.
Yeah, I went space, and you went space. Space. Yeah.
By the time we get up there, like it sounds all exciting, and I'm all for it. If I get a chance to go up to space, Elon Musky boy's like, "Let's go!"
Yeah.
I'm tagging along for sure. But I definitely think
You
that once
reckon
we get up there, it's going to
he'll
be
let you
real
tag
boring.
along?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
They're going to need pretty blonde boys to mate with.
Oil the machinery.
Just send me down amongst the gears, and I just slide around.
Yeah, hey, that's... Oh, actually, I was going to mention a movie, but it sort of gives away a big part of it, so don't worry. Cut this bit out, Wade. But yeah, you love sliding in amongst gears. We went to a lecture called Coffee in Space. It was by a physicist and a chemist. The chemist... Oh, you're right. That funny. Wade cracked a tinny, and it, like, sprayed in his face. That was like a
real good,
robot
man.
blowjob.
With these cans, let's bring it to kind of hospitality or these beverage theme for a second. These cans have got big boy lips on, big boy mouths.
You okay?
They got mouth.
Yeah.
They got big old mouth at the top.
It's
Describe it better for me.
Okay. It's like cat food,
Yeah.
but it's a beer.
Yep.
So you rip the whole top off.
Yeah.
And then you just tip it all over yourself, and it makes you quite indigested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Indigested.
so is the purpose
makes
so
me tum bloat.
it makes it worse
I think so.
than a small mouth?
I like a small. I put it in a glass.
Well, yeah,
preferably.
we're fancy boys.
Yeah.
And we've got podcast
And I
money. We can
swill
afford
it,
glasses.
and I wear a neckerchief, and I say, "Oh, yes, indeed." A lot of chortling.
You're a total machine.
We went to a lecture.
Yeah.
All three of us.
Yep.
Called Coffee in Space. A chemist and a physicist. There was big hype about it from
Me.
Rye briefly explaining it to us. The chemist, her name was Dr. Monica Fuckett. Fekete. Fekete.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was Fakete.
Fekete.
Okay.
She was, and I don't want to be too specific, foreign. She was foreign. I don't know where she was from, but that's why I can't pronounce her
I reckon
surname
it was.
because I have no
I
idea.
reckon
where she's from.
Brazilian.
You reckon Brazilian?
That's what I was getting from that.
Yeah, right. Well, she works for I can't remember the association, coffee science group.
Yeah.
Or something, like Melbourne Coffee Science Group or something.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah. And she studies coffee and the science
Yep.
behind it and everything. And she came there and she explained a bit of the science. Something I quite liked
She was
about
great.
that. She was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, because she knows her stuff
The
because it's her
best part.
job.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She's really like, she's gone, hey, this is what I know about my job. And then she said it out loud. And that's what we were there for.
But she was very. You could see that she was very into it. I guess like she
she
started
cares.
going a bit like geeky on it, and
Yeah.
that's always endearing with
Yeah.
anybody.
For sure.
It doesn't matter what it is that you like. If you geek out on it in a really genuine way,
Yeah.
at least myself,
Unless
I'm
it's-
really interested in.
unless
Don't
it's-
even. What are you gonna say?
Public masturbation.
Yeah. All right.
Just a real big fan of it.
Yeah, gets me all around. And let me tell you the best part. In fact, let me show you. But yeah, she was amazing, and something I quite liked. And I've done 3 or 4 of the coffee training classes for like advanced barista sort of thing at some of the main. I don't want to name anyone, but some of the main sort of coffee roasters in Melbourne. And
Tabella.
yeah, that's right. For the pods that we used that were from Aldi.
Hey, you made him real good.
Yeah, thanks. Well, you made it. But yeah, it was the thing I really liked was that she is a scientist and working on coffee, and she was covering the exact same stuff that they were using at all these main roasteries. All the big names are using the exact same scientific protocols to figure out how to create the best brew and the best roast and everything. And that made me just quite happy that that's the quality that we deal with in Melbourne. Is like the industry is completely science-based for the most part. And that made me really happy. What made me sad was the condescending physicist who hosted it. It was awful. He didn't really know too much about coffee. He didn't talk too much about space.
No.
He sort of tried to stick to coffee, but he should have just said more about space, because he obviously
Wayde,
does
relatively
interesting
little.
coffee. Sorry.
There was relatively little about space.
Yeah.
It's half of why I went.
Yeah.
That's entirely why I went. We can just research
What about you,
coffee.
Mitchell? How much of a
I
percentage?
went because I felt bad that I rarely go to things
How much
with
of a
you guys.
percentage?
Yeah.
How much of my percentage was space over coffee?
No. How much of your percentage was you feeling bad that you don't go to things with us guys?
It was 100%. I have no interest in this talk, but I
also
left
didn't-
early, actually.
Yeah. I also didn't want to go.
All
and I
of
also-
you except me and my partner left early. We
Jeff.
stuck around for the whole thing. We did the tasting and everything.
Oh,
and
really?
You did the tasting? How
we
was
did
the
the tasting. The tasting was
Oh,
great.
we should say Honor was partnered with the talk, and they had a representative from Honor who set up a little tasting out.
What's Honor? Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know you know, but thanks for a leading question to help with the listeners.
Yeah, this is a podcast.
It's the absolute top-notch roastery in Canberra.
Oh, okay, cool.
One of our boys used to work for.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I was going to go way too specific. And it was. She was really interesting. He kept talking about hipsters and Northcote and just being really and actively saying, we did a sensory test where we had all these different things, and I've tried pooped out coffee and I don't think it tasted any different to normal coffee. He actively was saying, I don't get it. I can't understand what the difference is.
And a talk all about coffee
Yeah.
and space.
But I was like, you're a physicist. Talk about the space, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. And then, so that first part I quite enjoyed. She said some great stuff. It wasn't stuff we didn't know, but it was just
Good to clarify it all.
Yeah.
And great slides. I got to see coffee blown up, like real
Magnified.
microscopic kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And that's
that was
real
Hella
cool.
magnified, like more than a magnifier would normally do it too.
Like
I believe
more
it was
than a
specific.
magnifying glass, you mean?
More than
more than
if
like
you
your standard like science-y.
If you
More than holding your phone up real close to your coffee. or
Yeah,
something.
more than that.
If
I
you
get
were
it.
trying to solve a crime with a small magnifying glass and you took it over some
Well,
coffee
then
grinds,
you're not going to solve the case because it's all down to the how big your magnifying glass is.
you don't see. What's the word for someone who tries to solve cases? Detective.
Yep.
You don't see detectives with
Magnifying
scientific
glasses.
microscopes going around.
You don't see them with magnifying glasses.
Yes,
either.
you do.
Do you?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah,
Not
in
modern.
TV
it's in
shows.
cartoons and stuff. I'm talking about cartoon life, obviously. Why would I talk about real life where detectives are dull and they're just trying to arrest graffiti artists? Let them paint their words, boys. But yeah, he was a douchebag and didn't really say much other than kind of. I think he said hipsters maybe 50 times.
Yeah,
It was too many times.
Yeah.
I mean, one is too many times, really. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really.
Especially when your partner in the lecture is a scientist who is a doctor who is doing this as her career and her passion.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, it's all for hipsters.
And most of the half of the people that were in attendance, you would describe if you were to to be rude to them as hipsters. Like you
Yeah.
would. And that's half of the people
It's
in the
pretty
crowd are
isolating
trendy
for-
Melbourne people.
Yeah. Even though we're
Hipsters.
like the center of the coffee universe in many ways. Well,
We are. Personally.
Mel-
How can we help you, podcast?
not me. Well, definitely on the come up though.
Yeah.
We're taking down all the other comedy based hospitality podcasts one by one.
Yep.
Can't stand next to us.
No.
Fucking
But
Jesus.
wait, let's skip the absolute worst part for a second and just go. How was the cupping?
So the cupping, it
Why don't you
wasn't
explain the
at
cupping as well?
all cupping.
Oh, you didn't do a real cupping.
It wasn't cupping. No, it was what they did was they did different grinds. So like different coarseness of the grind. No, it was not a cupping. It was never described as a cupping. So they did the grinds differently,
Glad I
but they
didn't stick
prepared
around.
them the same way. So they ran them through a batch brew machine, and you just like went down and you tasted things with under extraction, perfect extraction for what it was.
Sort of like what you do in training.
Yeah, I
as a
mean,
barista,
shit.
Yeah.
So much more
I know it
coffee
from fucking up
based.
my coffee at home.
Yeah.
Like I know the
Yeah.
flavors.
And
I mean,
were you
but-
in zero grav or?
Yeah, no, yeah. They flipped the switch.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, I
bugger,
guess we
missed that bit.
The
part.
art center has a switch for that.
On the way out, we saw two guys dressed as spacemen.
Yeah,
Did
I think they were trying to sucker people into coming in.
Right.
I think they were outside. We were watching them from
Did
the window.
they do anything?
No, God, no. They weren't.
Oh, they were
involved.
just the doormen.
Yeah, I think they were just the doorman. Yeah.
I just wanted space stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted space stuff. They showed a cool space cup that uses surface tension to keep liquid in a cup in 0G.
Yeah,
that was
good.
cool. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that
They
was
could have
very
just
amazing.
sent that to me. They could have just sent me the GIF. Would have
Yeah.
been sweet. I would have gone, cool space cup.
Yeah.
And then would have just spent 3 hours.
Yeah.
Well, 2 hours
And
in
they-
my case because I was hungover and I wanted to go home.
Yeah. The second half was a panel, right?
It was a painful panel.
It was
Ooh, boy.
very difficult. There was, I mean, Dr. Monica Fuckett was there, and she was doing her best.
Not to-
There
not to
was
giggle.
the
If you somehow hear this, you're great.
no,
Yeah, she was
is
amazing.
great. And she's not going to hear this, but she was incredible. She was the one redeeming factor in this other guy that I'll cover in a second. But it was introduced. The panel was introduced by the Chancellor of La Trobe University, who used to be the
John
premier,
Brumby.
John Brumby,
Yeah.
Premier of Knobs.
He was
Yep.
the worst.
Get
He was
political.
so
I don't know anything
awful.
about him.
He'd never read the piece of paper before. He was reading out and being like, "Oh, is that right? Is that what you're going to do?"
He was
Yeah.
old white man.
He read out.
Such a
He
classical
obviously
piece of shit.
thought coffee is just coffee, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
which a lot of people do, which is fine. But don't introduce coffee.
Just really quickly before. I don't know if this was before you left or after. I'm pretty sure it was after.
Yep.
At the end, one of the panelists was talking about drinking coffee black because it you can taste everything like that.
better.
You shouldn't need milk. Blah blah. But in essence, that's what she was saying. And he
Yep.
goes, but like, what about milk? Blah blah. And then would just roll his eyes every time she would be like, but I don't drink milk because that's the best way to drink it in space. You don't need to, worry about the milk and frothing the milk and everything like that
Yeah,
on
right.
microphone because you're just drinking black filter coffee. And he goes, what about a cappuccino? And then was getting quite uppity about nah, gotta have it with milk.
If you got to space
Weird.
and you're getting
It's just
shitty
weirdly
about your
aggressive about it.
cappuccino not being there, you fucking
Well,
idiot.
that is so. First of all, old mate Brumby, he went down the line introducing everybody on
Yep.
the panel. There was a lot of people. I think there was 7.
Yep, easy.
And maybe we'll put up a photo of their names, or maybe we shouldn't because I'm about to call most of them fuckheads.
Yeah, let's keep this
But,
relatively
yeah.
quiet. This is killing time.
He gets to a woman whose introduction is coffee professional.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It was
then-
her. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, by the
Yeah,
way.
and she was great as well, but she was not taken seriously, not given an
No.
opportunity to really talk about, considering she and Dr. Fuckett were the equal sort of, not equal in that one's a scientist, but one
Yeah.
is in the industry as well. They're both very high up
Yeah.
there. And she would have had a lot to say, but he was like, coffee professional, that's what it says here. What does that mean? You just sit around drinking coffee all day. And I was like, and
She
just went,
was
"Huh."
already on
No.
Yeah,
the
see it.
warpath after that. Like she
Yeah,
didn't really
she
offer
was
too much
pissed
more
off.
because she was pissed off.
As
Yeah.
she should have
Because
been.
she was embarrassed.
Well,
to imagine
because he
going to
embarrassed her.
imagine being
he
asked
should
to
be embarrassed. So that was fucking just your
Yeah.
whole career is just made light of. What does a chancellor do?
Yeah.
Not read a piece of paper before he gets on stage and then just degrade people who are doing
For a
amazing things.
politician,
For
he
an
was not
industry.
very good at speaking and winning over a crowd. I'll put it
Yeah.
that way.
Being in politics as well and just demeaning an entire industry is just insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
one that like
absurd.
Melbourne is definitely not necessarily built around the service industry, but it's pretty vital to
It's
the economy.
yeah.
It's pretty fucking huge.
In comparison
Yeah.
to probably a lot of other cities
Like-
around Australia, this is a huge
Yeah.
amount of money involved.
And with everything leaving, the manufacturing of cars and whatnot, Holden and Ford have closed their factories down.
Yeah.
A lot of jobs going to the
Yeah.
wayside. This is definitely a very
Gotta hold on to it.
industry,
Yeah.
as well as the arts.
Until the robots take over our jobs as well. Because I was always thinking that, like, why didn't we talk about robots in space and stuff like that? I want to talk about more robots and shit in space. I want to talk about space.
Spice, robots, shut up.
But I was always like, our jobs will be fine. Our jobs will probably be one of the last ones to go in the robot takeover. But I've come to realize recently that's not at all the case. Robots in hospitality are coming quick and fast for our jobs.
For some of
Not
them.
mine.
Manager.
Robot can't control a customer experience.
True. Sure.
That's
Barista, though, is going to be whittled down to
A
one
robot
barista.
can do your job. A plank can do your job. I'll build a robot tomorrow and have it fill in for you. It's just going to be like 3 Lego minifigs just standing in a circle.
Just holding one jug of milk and just moves it in place.
Nah, you're all right. You're a good boy. You're a good boy.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely not I'm not threatened by a robot.
You're not?
You can have it.
She'll sound it.
But there was another guy who, so did we explain what happens? So then they do a fake mission, a bit of role play, where the host, the physicist who doesn't really like coffee, was setting up scenarios about all the hipsternauts, the hipster astronauts that are going to space, and how they're getting irate and rioting because they want latte art, all this sort of shit. Where I was just like, I would rather just hear each of these people individually say their ideas on how they could affect making coffee and industry in space. But one guy who seemed to do a bit of research about something he's not, he was a scientist that I can't remember what his profession was, but he was like, oh, listen, we're talking about all this stuff, coffee in space, but here's why. And he went into how industry, mining asteroids, can be a huge part of industry in the future. Yeah. And as
he mentioned, like being the biggest industry, like that is the next biggest thing. And as soon as whoever gets up there first will control all the.
And as work in space normalizes, then comfort in space and all those sorts of things normalize. And it's about whoever can get up there first and partner with the big money and have all the science and know-how of how to make a good coffee from home in space. That's where big money is going to come in. And just his little 10-minute, not even 10 minutes, I would say maybe 2 or 3 little talk then made me go, oh, great. And then the rest, I was like, you're setting these really clever, very talented people up with the dumbest questions. What a waste of time. And I bowed out. I did some hand signs at Rye. They were just like, I'm leaving. Do you want to hold hands? And
Rye almost threw up because he was super hungover. He didn't quite understand what was going on in the room at the time. That's all right.
So he booked. It was no good. I'm done with it. No more lectures.
Just really quick, I had some of that tea that they were talking about. I don't know if you hung up for the tea. It's the fruit of the coffee.
Oh yeah.
The actual
the cherry of
the cherry.
That is coffee. Before you remove the flesh of it.
Yeah. So they must dry that out. Blah 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 blah. Brew it.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So they make a tea from the actual cherry of a coffee tree. Yeah. Whereas coffee is made from the seed of that cherry.
Is there much caffeine in the flesh?
Heaps, apparently. Yeah.
Did you get jacked? Jacked up?
Jacked up, man.
Dude! Let's have some tea, get jacked up.
Why isn't that taken off? If it tastes real good, why isn't that a big thing?
I think it's a fairly new thing.
Oh, okay.
Probably not, really. Like, they've probably been doing it for
Surely
decades and millennia, but...
Yeah.
Coffee's been around a while.
Decades and millennia.
There's no
you
between.
reckon like 1 millennia and 4 decades?
3.
3, yeah. That makes sense. Millennia, that's pretty good. That's before Jesus.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know how long a millennium is. I assumed 1 million years, but that's probably not right,
That's a long time.
It's probably...
Wayde? No? Wayde the Spade?
Is it 10,000?
Something in me is like 1,000.
Tweet at us.
Tweet at us. None of us have Twitter, really.
No.
Keep talking. I'll find out.
My Twitter's, I got one.
Oh, yeah. So
nice.
It's Mitchell Bill I Am.
Oh, yeah.
Like Will I Am.
Yeah, Will I Am. Yeah.
But it looks like, because there's no spaces or dots, it's just Mitchell Billiam. So you can tweet at Mitchell Billiam. with how much a millennia is. I mean, don't bother because Wade's currently looking it up.
1,000 years.
1,000 years.
Sometimes called a kilo year.
A what? You had a pick in your mouth.
A what?
A full mining pick.
It's a kilo year.
There's gold up in them there hills. I grabbed my mouth pick.
Yeah,
no, that'll do.
No, you didn't. Okay,
No,
you don't want to
that'll
repeat yourself? That's fine.
No, that's fine. Play us out, Wayde, baby.
Yeah.
We got 20. We still got a little bit, bit of
sorry.
time.
Play us back in, Wayde, baby.
That's good. We'll transition to another topic. That's brilliant. We should do that every time. Hey, let's just quickly go around the circle and think of something that you like. I should have
that's
given
right.
you a heads up, Wade, but I didn't. That's fine. You'll figure it out. Something that you like from either another culture's style of customer service or just whatever that you'd like, and you'd like to see it more mainstream. And the one I quickly like to jump off with is, I think it's more of an American diner thing, but you also get it in like Chinese restaurants and stuff like that, is pictures with your food displayed brilliant. And what you could do in Melbourne is you could take the hottest Instagram photos from the last month and stick it on your menus, and it looks sweet. Might look a bit trashy.
Your favorite thing that you want incorporated is pictures on the menus.
Yeah.
Like a
Because you can't
like a
reconcile.
Chinese restaurant.
Yeah. That's my favorite. That's my thing.
That is okay.
I mean, look,
I think it cheapens
Sure.
the cafe restaurant.
it totally
in a way.
does.
Yep.
I get, though, the seeing
That's
a
hard to
visualization of it, but also...
What about this? Not pictures. Cool drawings. Illustrations.
By Mitchell
all right.
Billy.
Yeah.
Compromise, nice.
You can I can draw your menus if you like. Contact me at Mitchell Billiam.
That would be good, actually. You could just have any. Like if I was to have boar on the menu, but it was pictured like it was in Asterix, then I'd be ordering it any day because it looks so good in Asterix.
Oh, those Asterix boar?
Right?
Have
Yeah.
you had boar?
No,
I
of course
have.
not.
That's not
Look at
great.
me.
Was it boring?
It's very gamey.
Stop it, Wade. Stop it, Wade.
It's going to be very gamey.
Play
I assume.
yourself out, Jersey. Bwah, 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 bwah.
What's your favorite thing that you'd like to addition? Added.
Addition, I prefer. I do like. This is purely. It's more of a selfish thing that made me feel like I had a good time. I don't know if you
Gobby is at the restaurant.
have stopped. You know what? You're both out. It's just me from now on. I've been around the world. Okay.
Yeah.
That's been. I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but there was a place that we went in. Have you heard of Italy?
Is that where the pizza came from?
Yeah,
Kind of.
you could say that.
Yeah. Spaghetti?
That's
That's my Italian
I think
accent,
Eminem came up with that.
Napoleon ice cream.
Eminem's
right?
mum.
Napoleon ice cream.
Napoleon's ice cream.
Wait, wasn't he French?
Yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny.
I know some things, and that's one of them.
Is that Napoleon is French?
And he's got a subpar ice cream.
Yeah. But it was so we went into a restaurant. We
very
really
short and small.
pretty much the whole of Italy. We couldn't really. I was tight budget. Couldn't really afford too much for dinner, so I would always go and order an entree and then book it. The thing about Italy is they want the meal to last forever.
Yeah.
essentially. So you get an
like
entree.
that.
You can be there like 6 hours, which is a great thing. I think
much
that's
fun.
an awesome part of the thing.
But if you're broke.
Which would be great to incorporate into culture as well. But if you're broke, you just kind of go and you get the biscuit. And then you're like, and they're sort of like, oh, maybe you want to try a bit of this. And you're like, nope, I'm out. Hooray. No tip. But they will give you like little complimentary things on the way in.
Yeah, like that.
Like a couple of dips and stuff. Not enough for you to be like, wahoo, I don't need to order anything.
Was that Mario?
Whoop, whoop, wahoo. But yeah, and they brought out like a little bit of gelato at the end, just like one little scoop in a glass with a spoon. I was like, what a really nice thing to do.
It's also the right amount.
Yeah.
You don't need that much gelato.
And if I had more money, I would have spent more money just because they were so accommodating and lovely. And Mario was there.
It is like Australian, if you're going out for I was going to say a traditional, but there's no traditional Australian food necessarily.
Meat and 3 veg.
But that's the thing. Yeah, you go out for a meal and then
Meat pie.
You go,
Sorry.
and you go to the pub. You go to the pub or the fucking what do you call
TAB.
those? TAB. You go to the TAB, and you get yourself one meal. Everyone orders one big thing, and you get a beer with it.
Yeah.
And then you're done, and you might get sweets, but it's all individual sweets. I hate that.
Everything in one big serve, all at one go. It
Yeah.
would be nice to
That's way too
stretch
much.
out a dinner, like sort of like your sort of degaston,
No, so what?
degaston.
I know what you're trying to say.
What am I trying to say?
Degastation?
Thank you.
Degestation? No.
Degastation, and that's very much small serves, spread out course after course.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to have it in more of a relaxed sense of like, nibble on some asparagus and have a chat
We're
while
just
you're
talking
doing
tapas. We just want tapas.
Yeah, but it's more.
Well, yeah, you have more of each thing, or just more.
I'm
dishes.
definitely okay with spreading it out, having a few small things, and then a smaller main.
Yeah. You
'Cause,
don't get
I don't know, you smash.
Yeah,
it hurts,
small
it
main.
hurts when you have a huge main. Like
This
a
is
big
also-
parma.
bit of sticky put at the end. I
Yeah.
heard Rain made
Sticky
some sticky
put.
put the other
Big,
day.
big fan sticky put.
The caramel.
This is but this is also just how the rest of the world does it. Like, there's not that many.
Not the rest of the world?
No.
You haven't been there, have you?
Well, no, I haven't. No, you have.
You haven't been to the rest of the world.
But,
I've been there.
but as far as I'm aware, like a lot of Asian cultures have a fairly like kind of spread it out a little bit. At
Yeah.
least there's lots of dishes.
There's
that
a
you
lot of share dish, small dish.
Yeah, share
big
dish, small
little
dishes,
dish.
and you do that with
What
a
a
lot,
dish.
a lot of Asian cultures, a lot of Middle Eastern cultures.
Yeah.
But
But
not,
Middle Eastern
but not,
cultures have the big food in the middle.
yeah.
And
you just take it
everyone
Eat your
just
way in
has
towards it. Or?
You eat your way into
like
it.
hungry hippos
Yeah.
all together, all going in together.
And yeah, that's disgusting. The image in my head is awful.
Just everyone's naked,
It's-
slopping about.
Smashing their heads against the table.
The dad's big and fat. He's just like thrashing his head against people and knocking them
Accidentally
over.
eats one of the babies.
Yeah.
Oh no. What a mess.
This is not what we think the Middle East is like. This is just a particular image that we
Yeah.
have in our heads right now.
I've been no, I haven't.
No.
But Turkey is close.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, it's in there.
Yeah.
Anyway. Pull this out.
Wait, didn't say his thing.
No, I assume
Play
you
us
didn't have
Why would I not have anything?
Do you have a thing?
I thought about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I just forgot.
This is different to yours, but
It's supposed to be. Well, if you repeated what Rye said, that's Rye's thing. Rye repeats what you say.
You got me.
so when I say different, I mean it's not quite the same as yours.
That makes sense. I understand what different means, right?
Different vein, I guess, is in the States just how like not necessarily cheap, but the fact that like filter coffee is the cheapest one, the quickest. You just get a black filter coffee from a a batch brew basically, but it's like en masse. I wish that it was cheaper here to do that, like because if it was more popular, batch brew would be cheaper than espresso because espresso requires a lot of effort.
You mean like your sort of American percolator style?
Well, yeah, which is
coffee?
a batch brew.
Yeah. But when we have batch brew in Melbourne, it's usually a single origin, and there's usually a bit of more effort put into it.
So
and
are the ones in the States. A lot of the time, you go to the right cafes. So, like, it's the same thing. It's just on a bigger scale.
If it was more popular, you could make more of it.
Sell it faster.
Yeah.
And
you wouldn't even make it that much cheaper, like in Australia.
no,
like if you
just
cut
cheaper
it
than
down
like
to
a
like
latte.
$2.90 or something like that, which is a fairly decent drop. But $2.90 looks
if
so
you wanted
cheap.
me to pay $3 for an 8-ounce cup of filter coffee, I'd be laughing because I
Yeah.
pay $5.50 for one now, like a run of the mill one, and I'm happy. So I'm happy to do that. In the States, the espresso style coffees are $4.50 US, which are roughly at the moment with the dollar
right.
being so shit is about $6
Yeah.
for a coffee.
Yeah.
And their filter coffee, you could go anywhere and get one for $1.25, and it was good.
Yeah.
It was fine. Up to $3 for a decent sized one or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I like it. It's just got a stigma, which I would like to disappear. Because
Well, there's two stigmas with it. It's like either American coffee is terrible or batch brew is really hoity-toity and fancy.
Yeah.
And it's like you gotta. It's neither of the two unless you're using
It can
hoity-toity.
be either of the two.
Yes,
it can be all of. It can be anything. Like all foods and drinks. It can be shit, medium, or good.
Sure, but you get what I'm saying.
I do, completely.
like
but I
it.
also agree. I also disagree in that I would like it to go more the other way, which it sort of does. We spoke about it briefly, how you can get batch brews where they're like... like
I'm
a
not saying
pour
that
over it.
shouldn't be a thing at all, that they shouldn't be like
I'm not saying that
perfected
that's what
and
you're
more
saying.
expensive.
That's the thing about food. It can be
What are you
good,
saying?
bad, or... Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yep, happy.
With who?
Play us out, Wayde!
Oh, what a bloody episode.
That's awful. That's not a good way to play someone out. I mean, I know you don't like to edit, but you should edit that one.